ASMR. Here's my coffee cup brand. It is not branded. It's the no brand coffee cup. I don't rep shit at all. I've talked about that on the channel. We don't go branded for anything. Here we are today, in the year of our Lord 2026. Welcome to the channel. It is time to talk about more garbage that's gonna make you mad. The Leo over here has macaroni and cheese in a bowl. He is ready to eat. He has a tiny little spoon that is so cute. I 3D printed this, and I 3D printed this here. Bowl of mac and cheese. Yeah, boy. Get your mac and cheese, Leo. Get your spoon, Leo. I want to do a live stream where we build this on the live stream. Super excited. This is my favorite mobile suit. 144 scale real grade. So it's got Bandai Namco. So it's sealed. It's a tall geese, standard tall geese stuff, nothing extra, but it is a real grade 144 scale. So it gives us the interior skeleton and all that good stuff. But I want to do this on stream. I think it'd be pretty cool. It's just been a while since I've had enough time to even do this. You got to understand where I'm filming this. This is in my warehouse of my business. So this computer just sits in a dirty ass warehouse and it just breathes warehouse garbage its entire life. So today we are talking about the state of gaming. It sucks as per usual, and what you should do about it. My advice is get something like this. Analog 3D. Get a summer cart, load it up with games on the micro SD, jam that in there, play your games, load it up with games, break out your official Nintendo 64 controller. This right here, this is my official controller from 1996. Look at it. Look how clean. This dude takes care of his stuff, I'm telling you that. Yeah, it's got some scuffs. It's played a lot of Super Smash, but look at the drift. Barely any, and you can easily fix that. It's clean. It's been well taken care of. I take care of my crap, okay? All my stuff is like this. And a lot of people are trying to go out and get the wireless controller that goes with that guy. Good to see my dirty feet. You're not paying extra for feet, okay? And they want to get all those extra like doodads and stuff like that. Just get this. Just get an official controller. It's just as good as anything else. And it's cringe if you have a wireless controller. I'm just saying that. It's cringe and gay and trans. So to cure your blues, get one of these, get one of these, get one of these, play all you freaking want. And if you can't do that, get yourself an original PlayStation. Get one of these memory cards. Burn you some games. Stick them in there. Boom. There you go. You can play that too. A PlayStation 2. Okay? Get yourself one of these memory cards. Load it up full of games. Jam it in there. And get yourself a free McBoot. Get yourself a memory or a network adapter. You can go on the internet and play games. The servers are still up and people are hosting private servers too. One of my favorite things to do, get an Xbox 360, do a bad avatar update, boom, you can play any game you want. Download everything you want and play it. If buying isn't owning, say it with me. Come on, where's the enthusiasm? If buying isn't owning, then piracy isn't stealing. Yes, good job. Good job, you did it. Give yourself a round of applause. On vimslayer.com or .net or whatever it is, they now have Wii U, ISO, ROMs, whatever you want to call them. So go get your Wii U on, because nobody bought that piece of shit, except for me. because I was a dumbass. I was a dumbass that bought a Wii U. And anybody that gets in the comment section and tries to defend the Wii U, I'm gonna smack you in the mouth. Yes, you heard me. I'll put papals on your bum. Do you understand me? I'll turn your back porch red. Because you don't know what you're talking about. You never owned one. I did. It was a shit console. It was garbage. Do you wanna know why? It had no games. Somebody the other day told me in the comment section that the PS1 was worse than the N64 because quantity over quality. And I'm like, what in the fuck are you talking about? PS1 had quantity and quality. N64 had a few decent games. It was a flyover console. There was no reason to own it. Especially when pretty much everything on GameCube was better and everything was ported. Oh man. So yeah, Frankie was talking his bullshit on that show about his AI opinions, and you know, he has a very warped perception of the world. His opinion is pretty wishy-washy, as per usual. He doesn't have anything intelligent to say or add to the argument. And he just is a completely off-base individual because his world is a 9-to-5 doing retarded work. I think I've been told he works at some college or something. So it's essentially a government job, fucking around, getting paid to do bullshit that doesn't matter. Hence the why he's such a leftoid. From what I'm seeing, he is about corporations, he's about spending money, he's about trying to rub elbows with disgusting individuals. He is a cutthroat person that will do whatever it takes to get his modicum of fame that honestly isn't really paying off for him, because I've estimated before he's probably pulling in about $1,000 after tax per month. And if he wanted to make $1,000 after tax, he could just work a part-time job. You know, work 20 hours a week, every week, and get a pretty decent amount of money. But instead he puts probably hundreds of hours into this YouTube shit, and it gets him nothing. And if you spend all your time, if you have a full-time job, if you work 40 hours a week, and then you come home and then you work 4 hours a day on your bullshit YouTube, you have very little time left to do anything with your family, your friends, and then you have to go to bed and wake up and do it all over again. My 4-year-old painted this the other day. I'm kind of proud of him. He asked for me to print him a Majora's Mask because he loves Majora's Mask, and he painted this by hand. Pretty freaking awesome for a 4-year-old. So yeah, I just create things I just create problems that I have to solve with my 3D printer, as Frankie says. Or you can just have fun and make stuff like this Glock. Just have fun. Have fun and make stuff. I mean, I really don't have like a set in stone topic for this video today. Just kind of bullshitting, but you know, so Frankie clearly probably works at a liberal college and goes to some mall church that he thinks is a real church. Anybody who's been to a mall church and who has been religious for a fair amount of time will tell you that mall churches are just pop-ups, and depending on where they are and how much of a buzz they create in the community, they gobble up the cash, and their whole goal is we need to build a real building. And then they get enough money to build a building, and then the building gets built, and then guess what? The church usually goes tits up. Somebody embezzles, somebody cheats, like the pastor cheats on his wife, or you know, all these crazy things happen. The ass falls out of the church, and then everybody leaves, and then church kaput. That's what a mall church is. They pop up out of nowhere, they sell their brand, They cash the check and then they disappear. Frankie's bought that hook, line, and sinker though. So back on the topic of AI. So AI means something completely different to me because my business, we make our money off of AI, like a lot of money off of AI. So in my line of work, I'm an electrician, and my company builds data centers. We build the data centers that make the AI. I know, I've got an ulterior motive to all this stuff. But the point is this: if all these private industries and private citizens were sitting on a pot of gold like that, do you think they would let it slip through their fingers? You know, do you think less of me because, you know, I put in the hard work and started my business, and now we found out that we can make a bunch of money putting in these installations for people and companies? Is it just, you know, woe is me? What should I do? Turn the money down? Should I take a moral stand and say that, you know, I don't believe in AI? Or should I say AI is a valuable tool and it increases your productivity? I use AI in my own business. I use AI for accounting. I use AI for HR. I use AI for payroll. I use AI for bidding on occasion if I have to make some flowery, some customers want their asshole licked. And what I mean by that is they want a bunch of flowery information put into these bids, these quotes, proposals, whatever you want to call them, so that they feel like they know more information. And I could sit here and just type all these code for code verbatim lines that come out of the code book, or I could dump some of those codes into an AI prompt and then it'll spit out something that a normal person would understand. So instead of me wasting my brain power to make something a normal person would understand, instead of just citing code, I put it in AI and it makes my job easier. So we use AI for a lot of things and it's very nice and it makes my job a lot easier and it saves me thousands of dollars a year. So when anybody talks about AI, it leads me to believe that there's reasons for why they don't like it. And if you don't like AI, it's probably because it took your work away from you or you lost money because of it. And you probably lost money because you didn't diversify, you didn't innovate, you didn't work hard enough. That's my general opinion about that. When I was working, before I started my business, I was working some pretty shitty jobs just to make ends meet and to pay for college and to do all those types of things. So don't get me wrong. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I was born with a wooden spoon in my mouth. And the only thing I had was my work ethic. So I paid for my own college. And the way I paid for it was working hard. So when somebody says AI is bad, I generally think of back to when I was working in those shitty jobs. And I remember distinctly in those shitty jobs that there would be a person, a coworker, that would say something to the effect of, laughing out loud, "I can't believe how little work I did today and got away with it." This is astounding to me because I've never had the benefit of somebody liking me for me in management and you know, the higher ups in a company or anything like that. I'm always oil and water with people like this because I work hard and I don't accept excuses. I don't accept excuses from myself. I don't accept excuses from management. I don't accept excuses from coworkers. So people don't generally like me. I'm a go-getter. I'm a self-starter. I just don't play by the rules. I get the job done efficiently, quickly. I say, "Thank you, may I have another?" and I do the task. We just don't get along. So when a coworker says to me, "I like to see how little work I can do every day," and I'm a hard worker thinking, "No, I work as hard as I can," to justify my paycheck. Because you are out there dinking around, not doing your job. Where I work hard, I get my paycheck, I earn my paycheck, I do above and beyond the work. Does that make me an asshole because I do above and beyond? Abso-fucking-lutely, I'm an asshole. Because I work harder than you. I will beat you every single time. But that is the point. That's what drives me, to be better, to be the best. That's my goal in life. Everything is to be the best. To do the best I can. To work as hard as I can. To reach a challenge and then just raise the bar again and again and again. Because I'm bored of doing the status quo. But when you put somebody like me in a corporate office, it causes problems because I find the weak link. I find the weak link in management. I find it in coworkers. And I find it in myself, to be quite honest. Because when I find myself challenged, I want to recoil. I want to hide. I want to not do the job. I want to slack off. I want to hide, in a little ball and not do the job and be scared and be like, it's scary, it's hard. But then I tell myself, no, you do what's hard because that's what you need to do. That's where you need to go. You go towards the flames. You go towards the challenge. So when I hear people that say they don't like AI, it's because they probably lost a position because they were losers that didn't do the work. That's just my opinion. You probably didn't do the work. You probably sucked at your job. You were probably lazy. You probably tried to do the bare minimum to get by, and it caught you. It bit you in the ass because this time somebody was able to outwork you, and they were just a computer that cost the company pennies on the dollar compared to your wage. So you're gone. I don't like AI. And if you're an artist, I really don't care. I don't care if you do AI art or you do real art. I used to go to art school, okay? I went to school with artists. Artists are a bunch of lazy fucks too. I remember in one of my art classes, it was a painting class, we had to do these paintings. They were due like once a week. So you had to spend all week on the painting, turn it in on a Friday, and then you got your grade for the week. So I remember looking around the classroom because we had to do like a gallery event on Friday. You hung your painting up and then you walked the room and you talked to other people and then you show your work to them. They show their work to you, that type of thing. It's a pretty cool concept. I really enjoyed it because you get to meet people, see their techniques, pick their brain a little bit. But I distinctly remember one kid in the class that just drove me nuts. He used to do the scummiest thing I have ever seen when it came to painting. So what he would do, let's use this as a demonstration. If this is your painting, he would paint the center object or the center focus. Whatever his subject was, he would paint that. But then his borders, his backgrounds would always be stencils. So he would just take a pre-made stencil and then just do little squiggly lines all over the canvas. So instead of actually painting foreground, middle ground, background like the rest of us were doing, he would do these fucking chippy, stupid bullshit paintings. And he would get A's every time. That's like, first of all, it doesn't follow the composition. It doesn't follow the assignment. The assignment was to do a foreground, middle ground, background, all painted by hand. But what he would do is just paint one subject and then stencil the rest. So he would get an A for not following the fucking assignment. These are the type of people that are getting bounced out of the art industry with AI. Because do you think an AI can't just do a little stencil background? Because it can do foreground, middle ground, and background and shit that out in seconds. Do you think your art is valuable enough when you're not working as hard? That's my point. Artists, I just don't give a shit. You should have known you were in an industry that was going downhill. Even when I was a kid, I knew art was a dying industry and it was a waste of time. That's why I got out of game design, because that's what my degree was going to be. And people think I'm an asshole because I like AI, but my point is, you probably weren't working that hard anyway to justify your wage. You were probably a slacker asshole. You were probably those people saying, I'm not going to work that hard. You're probably those people saying that you try to see how little you can get done in a day. And don't get me wrong, I've slacked off. But eventually you come to a point in your life where you're like, I want to do better. I want to be the best. And you just got to go with it. You got to run with it. Because that's when the cream rises to the top. And people like Cranky, they're going to these shitty jobs and they're doing their work, which I'm sure is very valuable to the company he works for. Yeah, right. But this guy has enough energy to come home and then fuck around on his YouTube channel and produce these asinine, stupid videos and make $1,000 a month. You're telling me he works that hard at school, wherever he goes to work? Some people said at school. I don't know. Do you think he works that hard? I don't fucking think so. I don't think so at all. I think he goes to a cushy ass job, probably works a little bit, and then he's got all the time in the world to fuck about, come home, and play around with his little camera and spend a little bit of expendable income on his YouTube channel in the hopes that he's going to make it one day. These are the people that need to lose their jobs, okay? I'm just saying, like, you're not good enough to go up against an AI. Yeah, I'm building AI data centers, my company builds them. But the point is that if you had the opportunity to print money, like my company is printing right now with these contracts we're getting, do you think you'd turn it down? Do you fucking think you'd turn it down? Huh? No, you wouldn't turn it down. You'd be out there grinding away, or you'd be slacking away trying to make, that's the funny thing, is even in that, there's all shit that goes on in this industry. There's companies that get these contracts that don't deserve them, that don't work hard, and they fuck up, and then people like my company have to come in and fix their fucking problem. So there's like a second bottom feeder level of this shit where you can just be better than the last asshole and just rake in cash. We're talking 100 grand after tax, after paying employees, everything. We're just huge contracts, $300,000 contracts. We're talking a 700,000 square foot buildings and bigger. And there's all different types of electrical contractors all working together. So you just go in, you're assigned to a little section of the building, you wire that shit up, you cash a big fat stack, you leave, you go to the next one. It's fucking brilliant. It's unbelievable. And you want to be mad at me for doing this shit? Fuck you. Seriously. Make hay. Make hay while the sun's shining, because there's no guarantee you're going to make it later. And yeah, if these jobs dry up, we'll do something else. And we'll just go somewhere else. We already do residential, commercial, and industrial, so we can do all this stuff. The benefit of it is that once you're in the industry of these industrial applications, your name goes into a database and your name gets traded around. Everybody ends up knowing about you. So you just, you get passed around. This company did really good. They met their budgets. They did a good job. They didn't charge us too much. And then we get put in the pool for the next one. It's fucking simple. Cream rises to the top. Be the best. I don't let my guys leave any trash on the ground. Like, this is how nitty gritty I get. No trash on the ground, no smoking on job sites, no dipping. Like, some of my guys hated me when they first started. But like I'm saying, no tobacco. We're a no tobacco company because, for one thing, it makes you more productive because you're not fucking around smoking cigarettes. But on top of that, it makes you healthier. Your guys are better equipped to work hard because they're healthier. Okay? So, you know, no cigarettes, no trash on the ground. I give them good tools. I give them vehicles to drive, give them good health benefits, give them a very good wage, and they're happy. And you can take care of these kids that come in and they want to do some work, get their hands on tools and learn something. Some of them, like, they needed a dad figure in their life. And that happens to be, like, when you haven't had a good upbringing, you need to be around other men to learn what a man is supposed to be. And when you have a good group of men to like bounce ideas off of and to learn and to have a good role model, it makes good men come out of your company. It's unbelievable. I've had guys leave and start their own business, and I'm so proud of them because they're doing so well for themselves. They listened, they followed the steps, they improved on their lives. And I'm so proud of that. It's unbelievable. But you got all these assholes in these shitty positions. Like, do we really need to pay somebody in the drive-through line $15 an hour to get my order wrong? You know, when I started in electrical, I was making $12 an hour, risking my life, high voltage, you know, hundreds of feet in the air, on scaffolding, on catwalks, on scissor lifts, all this crap. It's $12 an hour, and they're making 15 hucking burgers. Fuck you. You know, like, fuck you. You don't deserve it. You know, you don't deserve it. You're an asshole. Yeah, this went on a wild tangent. It went from games to 3D printing to AI to, man, it was just things that were on my mind that I want to throw on the podcast for the second podcast, Elechicken Podcast. Bye.